did one day, one brew with him. That day we spent the whole day brewing. The Monday he put his 2 weeks notice. 90 barrels, pandemic, shut down everything. Thursdays, coming at it, and if it's done, it's done. We're not brewing again. We start getting lines. So that was when we did all those crazy flavors.
Wow.
In April, World Beer Cup, went to Minneapolis. We got 3 medals. That was the top of my career. And as soon as I got home, the next day I went to work. I felt even harder to go to work. And she's like, hey, do you know Mount West is looking for a cider maker? I'm like, cider? What? When you want to do something, you cannot do a half-ass.
Yeah.
You have to do that full board. I need to learn everything about cider, and I have a month.
First time I know.
Small Lake City.
What is up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Small Lake City podcast. I'm your host, Eric Nielsen. You might be wondering how a Brazilian grad student at the U ends up becoming the head brewmaster at Mountain West Cider. And not only that, but the story of Marcio Buffolo stops by at Shades Brewing, where he was the one who created a lot of the fun flavors that we know Shades Brewing as, of things like blueberry pecan pie, all the way to spaghetti dinner. So we sit down with Marcio Buffolo and talk more about his story and how he became the head brewmaster at Mountain West Cider and all of the fun story along the way. So without any further ado, let's jump in the episode and hear more in my conversation with me and Marcio. Yeah, but like I never really go up to Park City because it's far enough away where I want to do things there. Like I do want to go have some cocktails, have some really good dinner, have to go to a show, but I'm like, I still got to go home.
And the drive is a fucking pain in the ass. Drive over there, it's cool, it's beautiful, but fuck.
Yeah.
Driving after drinking, no way. And try to get a hotel there in the winter. Fuck no.
No, I'm not going to pay $1,200 a night for this. Like, no matter how good the restaurant is.
Yeah, same. I'm doing it in Park City for my side gig.
Cool.
I have a very aged coffee bean company. Totally different stuff. Very unique one. But then that's my weekend stuff. So I do doing the Park City.
Cool.
So every Sunday go there, spend fucking 10 hours.
That's been there long time.
Well, it's from it starts at 10, but you have to unload before 8:30. So yeah, so I'll be there from 8 to 5, 8 to 6.
I'll come say hi this weekend because I'm going I have like a pretty great weekend ahead of me. So tonight I go, like my girlfriend, she's getting her PhD in, I guess I've never really talked about on the podcast of me having a girlfriend. So we might take this out, we might not. Anyway, so she's getting a PhD up at the U.
In which field?
Chemistry.
Oh, my wife works there as a scientist. I do.
In chemistry?
No, it was human genetics.
Okay, I'll ask her. It's a small world. And also I've learned that like Small Lake City exists to everybody in Salt Lake. But then when you have a podcast and chase the energy of Small Lake City, it just always keeps happening. And like where I get so desensitized to it, I'm like, yeah, what do you know? You know my cousin from some random thing.
Yeah.
So we're going out tonight because one of her colleagues just defended his thesis. So we're going out to celebrate. And then tomorrow we're going to go stay at the Pendry at the height, like on the kind of canyon side, go to dinner at Handle, and then wake up tomorrow morning or Sunday morning, go record up at Dendrick, and then do brunch at High West, then go to Park City, then we go sit by the pool, then have dinner at Shabu, and then go home. Right. And as I planned it, I was like,
well, in Park City, stop by. We're in the top.
Yeah.
Almost at the end. It's all black. It's the only black tent.
Okay.
It's called Spirits of Coffee. So
I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll have some cold brew for you for the rest of the night.
Exactly. And I will need it. So no, I will definitely be there. But man, yeah, it's fun to see how, the Park City, I think, is my favorite time in this time, especially this time of the year where, I mean, it's
too hot here.
Currently 87, which is a little on the older side. Yeah. Like usually I walk my dogs around 2 or 3 and I'll check my watch before I go. I'm like, oh, it's 95. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I know.
So it's always good to get up in a little higher elevation.
Yeah, but don't get that for you.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago was 95 there.
Yeah.
And 4 weeks ago was 39.
Never know. I get sometimes. Oh. Marcia, is it pronounced Ruffalo?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say.
Is that right?
Okay, cool.
Which is hard. Not everybody can say my name right.
Well, thankfully I work with I have my day job in tech. We have a lot of engineers from Brazil. So there's always like some sort of Brazilian something. We're always talking about a barbecue. And then my maid, I got a maid recently because my life was too chaotic to clean my house, and someone introduced them, but she's from Brazil. And so
What's her name? Maddie?
No, it's like Maria something.
Maria de Almeida. Maria Bernadette de Almeida. It's my mom.
No. She's too young to be your mother.
No, she's my mom.
Oh.
That kind of mom. Yeah. What? This is true. It's hilarious. If it's her, yeah. She has a company who runs cleaning out throughout the whole valley.
That's just personally her. She came on. No,
it's
like Miss Lane pursuing it. Don't mean guys.
No.
Dang it, that would have been good. Especially as I'm like, yeah, small city moments happen all the time. And by the way, you know my man. But when I got introduced to her, I text her. She's like, sorry, I don't speak English. I'm like, all right, let's fire up ChatGPT. And so I just start messaging her in Portuguese. And she's like, she shows up at my house and just starts talking to me in Portuguese. I'm like, oh, no. Like, don't speak Portuguese. You've been talking to a translator this entire time. So, but no, Marcio, I'm excited because, I mean, obviously, head brewmaster at Mountain West Cider, been not just there, for like 3 years now, but there's been a journey through so many familiar places and faces through the valley that I'm excited to talk through. And it was even fun. When I swung by there to talk with Chan about a potential event, she spoke so highly of you and everything that you've done there. So I'm excited, but also wanted to know kind of how this all happened. Because, obviously originally from Brazil.
Yeah.
But, talk me through the path of how you ended up in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Everybody like, why Salt Lake?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. So everything started with my wife. She was doing her PhD in Brazil. And she went to this meeting in the countryside in Brazil, just a small meeting for the Brazilian Society of Sciences, something like that. Mm-hmm. And she met a guy there that went to Brazil to do like a partnership with other professors. And he ended up being in this meeting. And he was like scary because it was 13-hour fly plus 3-hour drive in the middle of nowhere. And they meet. They talk, and the guy invited her to do part of her PhD here at the University of Utah. So she came here in 2008, stayed for a year, back to Brazil. She finished her PhD, and we meet in a bar inside the university.
Okay.
And then we started a relationship, and then after a year, she got invited to come back for a postdoc position. And I was finishing my master, and she's like, how about we go?
Because you were studying biology.
We both biology.
Okay.
She's on the physiology and histology field. I was more in cell biology. But we were both in same university, same campus, the same building. But we never saw each other until we were in the bar. Because Brazil will have bars inside of the campus, like outdoor of the main door of the building.
Yeah.
There's a bar there.
I like that.
And then they started running on this experiment. They're going to take 3 hours to run. Well, what are you going to do for 3 hours? Well, let's get 2 beers, 4 beers, 6 beers, meet people, and then go back, finish the experiment, and go home.
Yeah.
And we met this way. And then she's like, okay, how about this opportunity? I'm like, okay, I finished my master and I may go. So she moved to here for 6 months before me. I moved to later. And I started working at the U as researcher, as associate. She was a postdoc. And I stayed there for almost 4 years. And then one professor next door, the next lab, is Jim, friend with Trent Farger, the owner of Shades.
Okay.
And Shades was having problems with beer going sour, exploding shelves. And he's like, I need someone to run like a small lab here so we can fix this problem and not having this happen again.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I know a guy on my lab, on the next lab, who's a home brewer. So I'll ask him if he's interested. And that was a connection that put me from science to the industry.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how about you go to this brewery and run a lab just for quality control? Oh my God. Lab, it's lab.
That's how they get you. Just come in for a minute. Just run a lab a little bit.
Not like, can you build the lab? Can you make this happen? I'm like, I am not qualified for that, but I can study and can try to make it happen. And university has a surplus center, which all old equipment goes to this place for super cheap.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, so there's this hood that usually gonna cost you 20, 30 grand for like $100. You're like, buy it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's this incubator that will cost you 10 grand for $50. Buy it. So I started buying all the used equipment and build a lab at Shades. And that's when I started Shades. I was just a lab guy.
So wait, I'm back up a little bit. So you started brewing on your own long before that.
Homebrew.
So how did that start? When did that start?
Before when I was about to move to Salt Lake, I met a guy, Pete, super cool guy, and he's like, yeah, I'll brew my own beer at home. I'm like, oh, I never thought about that in Brazil. And he like, hey, come to my house, I'll drink my beers, and we'll see if you like it or not. And it was pretty good beer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, how you do that? So he showed me how to homebrew. From that, I met with few people that has the Lauderdale Brewer. I started going to those Lauderdale Brewer meetings, learn how to homebrew, bought piece of equipment here and there. And I was homebrewing at home, literally like once a month, making few batches, try to understand the process. As a scientist, try to change here and there to see what happened. So it was just homebrew. But it's, in my opinion, since that time, it was too much work. It's cool. It's nice to have your product. But I was living cross street from a pub.
I don't need to make my own beer. I only have so much free time.
Exactly. I can just go over there, spend a few bucks and get beer.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. At the time, it was cheaper and everything. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do for a hobby when I have time. It was nothing that I was like really investing time or buying expensive equipment. It was just for fun.
Yeah.
And it was actually producing some decent beers, get some medals. That was pretty cool at the time.
But you had done it enough where if you run into someone at a bar and they're like, oh my gosh, I need someone to help with this brewery and run a lab, you're like, well, I could do it.
I knew on the lab side more than the brewery. At that time, I just visited a few breweries and I didn't know how scale works.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I know how to make wort to go through tanks, ferment, and become beer. Cool. What is a heat exchange? I have no idea. I was cooling my beer with ice. Yeah. So nice. Now I know this equipment. Oh, these pumps, how a pump works. I have no idea. I'm not an engineer. I'm biology.
Yeah.
I have no idea how a pump works. Still this day, some pumps I have no idea how it works. But it was like some pumps, people are like, oh, I have this differential pressure bubble up pump. I'm like, cool. I have no idea how that works.
Don't ask me any questions, but
after 10 years in the industry, still equipment, I have no idea how some equipment works.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I knew a little bit. I knew the basics. I knew the scale works. And I saw Shades at the time as an opportunity to learn, to invest time, and a possibility to growth. But also building up the lab showed me that so many other phases of the industry that I never thought about. How to grow yeast, how to cop yeast, how to select some strengths, how to avoid problems. Because again, she's having problems at the time. So I went there and like, okay, let's swap every single part of the process and grow and see where the problem is. And then we swap hoses, tanks, inside of the tanks, inside of valves, every piece of equipment the wort could touch until we found the problem. And then
what was the problem?
Pediococcus. So Pediococcus, it's a bacterium.
Sorry.
Yeah. So it was Pediococcus in the heat exchange, which is a very common thing. We just change few procedures. And at the time, I was like, okay, now it's fixed. Just let's keep clean and keep testing. So that's how I enter in the industry.
Yeah.
How become a brewer is another story.
Well, because like my curiosity is, because like my ignorance says, oh, you've been studying biology. You've been doing, scientific experiments to some extent, which, brewing is a scientific experiment. How much of your knowledge of biology, because again, you're still working with like a live yeast and creating the chemistry of how this reaction happens, but how comfortable were you in this specific type of, reaction brewing process compared to what you've been doing in a lab in such like a educational contact.
So in Brazil, I was working with cell biology, but very focused in genetics.
Okay.
So more DNA and a few proteins, specific for muscle formation. So it was a very different topic. But during graduation and my master, you have a lot of classes. One of the classes that I loved the most was metabolism and fermentation. It's there. It's metabolism, right? So get the knowledge and just translate that. It's 1-to-1. It's easy. The thing is, yeast makes beer. Brewers make wort. Brewers extract sugar.
Yes.
Who makes sugar become beer? It's yeast.
Got it.
So there's that very famous saying: brewers make wort, yeast makes beer.
Yes.
So I know who makes beer. Yeast. So I know that. I know the process. I know the fermentation. So okay, now how can I apply this to the industry? Okay, I know the process. I know how this sugar becomes CO2 and alcohol. How can I get this process better? Because it's not just alcohol and CO2. There's a lot of flavors involved there. Good flavors and off flavors. So butter. You don't want to butter your beer. Few styles maybe, but usually you don't want that taste of butternut squash, popcorn butter in your beer. That can be produced by the yeast. Actually, it is produced by the yeast all the time. But at the end of fermentation, yeast collects that back and remove that from the beer. If you don't let the time happen, that will be on your product. So knowing that process, you understanding the process and how the pathway works, you know you have to wait, you know how to measure, you know how to prevent that happen. So that is the translation between science lab to the beer. You know the process, you know what I have to do. Just do it. And that what the beneficial to that, it's knowing and applying. The ignorance or avoiding knowing the process will generate bad beer. So it's just a matter of knowing, understanding, that would be fine.
Yeah, I mean, especially once, because I was assumed that you would have, again, through all of your getting your master's and working in labs and, I mean, going through the scientific process and know enough that you can, again, taste this new process and be like, okay, I can figure this out. Like I speak the language, this is just a different kind of dialect.
Yeah.
And so you can do that. And then also I'm sure it's fun to be like, cool, now that I know this process, I know all of these inputs, I know what needs to happen. Now we can start to play with these different levers and really apply this scientific process. Be like, okay, if I add more yeast at the beginning or this type of mosaic hop or this type of yeast, let's sit back and watch what happens. And all of a sudden you have this knowledge of all of these different levers to really start to have fun with it, I would assume.
And impatient, because at the science level, you change one parameter at a time.
Yes.
And then you analyze. And how's different from the past? It's better, it's worse. Okay, it's better, let's keep it. And now let's change the second parameter. Don't change 5 things at the same time. And like, oh yeah, it works. Which one works?
Which one worked? All of them.
All of them. Maybe just one. Another 4 is terrible. So all the patience, slowly changing things, slowly making better, and not always going to be good. Sometimes you're going to change something, you're going to go bad. Like, wait, oh, nope, go back a step. Let's change a different thing. And that was the lab Shades teach me that, how to select yeast. We were, at that time, become a little famous from the Kavaik strains. That's something that in US was really low, or no one actually knows that in the industry. And a friend of mine brought this strain from Lithuania. Well, he was not in Lithuania. He was somewhere in Europe, and he found this strain. And he brought it to me, and he like, hey, I love the beers with this strain, but after 3 or 4 weeks, it goes sour. What's going on? I'm like, give it to me. I have a lab. Let's see what's going on there.
Yeah.
And I spread that in a plate, and yeah, some lactobacillus was mixed on the yeast. So I'm like, yeah, let's clean the lactobacillus. So I'm like, okay, I can clean for you. We get the problem out, but you let me stay with a little bit of yeast strain.
Yeah.
Like, okay, no problem. So I clean the lactobacillus, give to him back, and now I have the yeast strain in my hand, which is really good strain. And I'm like, okay, can we prop and use this in beer? And it was a phenomenal strain that we used there for so many years, give so many awards. And that yeast strain was very revolutionary at that time, because it could ferment fast, high temperature, producing so much aromas, nice citrus forward, very fast fermentation, almost no off flavors. Everybody was freaking out. So between probably 18 and 20, that was a hype. Every single brewery in the county was using that strain. Now we barely hear.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Huh, that's interesting that you have this like, yeah, I can fix this for you, and now I'm going to use it.
Yeah, and it was good.
Yeah, I mean, most importantly, it doesn't matter if it doesn't taste good.
Yeah, but it was good.
And so, I mean, so before you have this conversation with Shades, I mean, where did you see your career going? I mean, I'm assuming you didn't think you were going to be brewing beer full time.
No, when I got to the U, working at the lab over there was like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be here and I will do my PhD. That was an option, and stay at the U as researcher, or go to the industry as researcher. Or
It sounds like you knew you wanted to do something in biology, but like there's all of these different forks that are like, I could see them all, but not really sure. And then someone's like, just come set up a lab and see how it goes.
And think about this. I was like, finished my master, fresh finished master, moved from Brazil to Salt Lake, tried to adapt to language.
Yeah.
You can clearly hear my broken English. I barely speak English when I moved to here. I was okay to read because lab stuff, science is all in English.
Right.
So I could read, understand. I couldn't listen too much, and speaking was terrible. I try. You have to try, or you're never gonna learn.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, language barrier, totally different culture, different climate. Think about today is like 87, 90 degrees. That's a winter in Brazil. That's winter in Rio.
Yeah.
We will have two seasons, summer and hell.
Yeah.
So right now it's winter there. It's probably like 80s.
Yeah.
Now. So different climate, different food, different everything. So I have to adapt. So I was still like, what am I going to do? So I have to understand what the market looks like, what is the industry, my goals in life. I'm going to stay here. You know, as immigrant, I have to plan 2, 3, 4 years ahead.
Yeah.
This process takes long. So all this stuff, it was too much to think about one path.
Yeah.
I have to have plans B, C, D, and Y and Z. So at that time, I didn't know. I was like, whatever I feel that will be a good gig, I might jump into it and see what happens.
Yeah.
At the time, was probably going forward to a PhD pathway.
Got it.
This opportunity came. Was a good money. Was nice. It was got nice environment.
Yeah.
Beer was always fun.
Yeah. And when they talked to you about it, did it feel, I mean, was it very much like, we want you to come full time, or is it mostly like, come solve this problem?
At the time, I was just come get the problem done, and that's it.
Yeah.
That was the number one conversation for 6 to 8 months. I remember the day of, everything was fine. I was there just getting samples from the tanks. And that was a Friday, and the guy that was running the head brewer at the time, was like, hey, I'll be brewing tomorrow. I know you have Fridays, Saturdays free. Do you want to come and brew with me? I'm like, yeah, I want to do it. So I did one day, one brew with him. That day we spent the whole day brewing. I was like, super cool. I loved the idea. Never got an offer or anything. It was just one day to brew with him and help him. The Monday he put his 2 weeks notice.
He's like, Marcio can do it. It's fine.
And then a trainer was like, okay, shit, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to go to the market, hire people, or at that time, Shades was just buying a brand new system, upgrading from 7-barrel, 2 vessels, very Chinese, terrible brew system, to a 30-barrel, 5 vessels, 4 vessels, semi-automatic and everything. Like, should I hire someone right now, train this for a month on this system, and then have to train again? Or I'll give Marcio the freedom to this, like, okay, go learn this system, brand new, and in a month it become full-time. Well, that was the offer. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. So I kind of helped for the transition. And when the brand new system arrived, I was fully committed. I quit the U, become head brewer Shades, and again, that's very rare. I have the opportunity to run a system with minimum experience. I was with Trend for a month and a half brewing the old system, but I have the desire to learn, to taste, and every single batch. Okay, how can we make this better? Let's study. Let's change this process. Let's change this malt. Let's talk to people. And at that time, I was getting people in the industry, which is it's amazing industry. Everybody helps each other.
Yeah.
I cannot be thankful for so many good people in this industry, in this town, that like, okay, you're doing this wrong, fix this way, or you want to improve, use this malt, use this hops, don't do this, don't do that. So that was easy way for me to step up, get better knowledge. And in less than 4 months, we were fully brewing, like turn and burn all the time on the new system.
Wow.
With a great team. We have a great people over there.
And so, I mean, while you were there, I mean, what are some of the highlights of the beers that you were able to make, or I mean, some of those, I mean, best moment or best memories from Shades?
When we started making some sour beers, that was the funny thing. We did one batch with the old system, just to test if you could make a sour beer, and it was terrible.
Because what's the biggest difference between brewing a sour beer versus brewing, I mean, other things?
We're doing a kettle sour, which we call easy, fast sour.
Okay.
It's going to be very low complexity. You're going to be a beer that's going to be just sour with like lactic sour. So you're going to have that lactic acid taste, and basically that's it. You're not going to have a lot of complexity like other long time barrel aged sours or Flanders, and some styles are going to have barrel, multiple types of organisms that will add complexity to that flavor. We're talking about simple lactic acid sour made from lactobacillus. So lactobacillus will get the wort. Instead you finish the beer, instead of sending the wort to the tank, you pitch lactobacillus, and overnight that will drop the pH and will become sour. Then after that, you ferment like a normal beer, and you have a sour beer.
Okay.
Usually sour beers, just base sour beers, are boring most of the times, a lot of defects. So you're going to see a lot of that being fruited or spiced or other things.
Yeah. Shades is known for a lot of different things.
So at that time, we make one with the old system. Terrible. It was meaty, it was terrible. And then we fruited. And then what is the cheapest fruit available was plum. So, okay, let's buy a drum of plum, throw over there, and see if we can save this. And after re-fermenting, all the meaty flavor went away. The beer was kind of like crispy, nice, dry, fruity, refreshing. It was a summer. Like, okay, maybe this can become something good. Fast forward a year and a half later, we're being tanks full. Basically that week that you don't have anything to brew. And there's one tank that was about to get empty, nothing really in the schedule. I'm like, oh, I'm going to make a sour beer. Let's put a sour beer there, and let's ferment with the Kavik strain that we clean up.
Okay.
Let's see how that goes. We make a small batch, 15 barrels. And I was like, and I want to dry hop that with a Nelson Sauvin. It's a hop that it's really nice, grapey, like a lot of grape flavors, Sauvignon Blanc kind of flavor. Okay, let's try hop with that and see how that beer turns out. And then that beer turns out really, really good. Like good. And that was the second medal of Shades in Idaho Falls. We got a medal for sour beer. I'm like, oh, this beer has a future. People like it. Not a lot of defects. So let's refine that. Let's make that better. Then we run a big batch and divide that in 3 small batches. And one we just dry hopped. One single fruited, I think it was just cherry or something like that. And the third one, I'm going to go crazy. I throw lactose, pineapple, guava, mango, I think. And it was kind of like 1, 2, and 3. We named that way. And it was so good. And it sold out really fast. And everywhere people were talking about drinking those beers. So that was the start of those sour, crazy things, the lactose trend that we introduced so much lactose in those beers because we're souring, but we have nothing to back sweet with. So lactose gave us that balance And the fruits were all tropical, so good. So it was,
Big fan of tropical fruit.
it was so good, so good. And then we become a trend. So all Kavai started getting numbers to a point that we started losing. Which one is, 5 was dry hop? No, 7 was dry hop. 8 was, okay, we started naming the thing because we cannot keep number. So we started naming, and then we have the 2020. Was February. We're planning because summer is coming. So that dry hopped one won the JBF in 2019 gold medal. So like, okay, we know we're making good stuff. We got gold at JBF. So let's brew 90 barrel of that beer because that beer is gonna fly. Yeah. So let's prepare. Summer's coming. Let's start brewing that in February. We 90 barrels. Pandemic. Shut down everything.
Oh,
Like, okay, liquor stores are shut down. We have 90 barrel of this beer almost ready in the tank, like start fermenting 2-3 days ago. We're like, what are we going to do with this amount of work? So on that meantime that we were like thinking what to do, earthquake. So, okay, shit. Okay, disaster's coming. So pandemic, earthquake, what's the next plague? So we're talking about apocalypse here.
Yeah.
And my AJ was my brewer assistant. He like the 4 horsemen of apocalypse. That's called 4 beers, 4 like plague,
yes,
hunger, whatever is the 4th thing. And they're like, oh, that might be too much. People are dying for these things. So let's just let's call a hurricane, earthquake season or series, whatever, which we name after like aftershock, shockwave. That was the names.
Okay.
And we divide the 90 barrels into 6 15 barrels. Thanks. And fruited differently and release once a week.
Wow.
So, okay, once a week we have a new flavor in cans only because we're closed, pandemic. So it's to go only. Thursdays, coming at it. And if it's done, it's done. We're not brewing again. We start getting lines and selling out one day. So that was the train when so okay, now we have to make 1 beer a week.
Yeah, now you set that expectation. Yeah.
And that happens for almost 18 months.
Wow.
We, in 2020, we produced 59 different beers. In 2021, we produced, I think, 65 or 70 different beers.
That's insane.
Because we have 1 a week. And then we have the 10th anniversary, which we put 10 collaborations, like releasing 2 a week.
Yeah.
And then we're like creating so much, and that was the nice thing. We have freedom, so we also like every 4 months, 5 months, we have all people together, for the brewery production, sales team, marketing team. Okay, I want flavors. I don't care. Give me flavors, and we started writing the board. Okay, we have categories: pie, so lactose, graham cracker, vanilla, cinnamon. What else? Cherry pie. Strawberry rhubarb pie.
Yeah.
And let's go. And we started writing the board every crazy ideas. I don't care if it's crazy. Good. Let's go. Now I want fruit combinations. We start giving. Now I want crazy combinations. I don't care if you think this is insane. It's gonna taste like awful. Give me the ideas. We'll make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we have those jalapeno poppers.
Yeah.
So bacon, cream cheese, and jalapeno, spaghetti.
Yep. And I've had the spaghetti.
Tomato, basil, cilantro, and oregano. Some PMs, pecan pie. So like all these ideas. Some go more towards the sour side.
Yeah.
Some we didn't sour and make it like a cream ale. And some went to a new base that was a dessert. So it was like an imperial stout base. So we have these 3 and start running all those kind of flavors. So that was when we did all those crazy flavors.
Wow. And that's crazy to think of. All right, every week we need something new. We're gonna we now have this system that can support it, but then also being like, hey guys, we're running out of ideas. Just tell us, just keep going.
Keep going.
Nothing's off the table.
If it happens sometimes, like, okay, we don't have a way to make this happen. Well, what was the most successful last year? Key lime pie, bring it back.
Yeah.
What another one? Strawberry rhubarb pie, bring it back.
Yeah.
Bloody Mary, bring it back. So stuff like that. Oh, the jalapeno pineapple, pico jalapeno pineapple, bring it back.
Yeah.
So stuff like that was successful. Yeah, bring it back. Yeah. Then we don't have
People still want it.
to go too crazy, but why not? So
it's interesting. So you have this experience where you're like, I brew beer at home, takes too much time, I'm good. You have this opportunity, you have so much fun with it, and again, like this pandemic and earthquake and like windstorm into like, we're just going to make a new brew every week. I mean, and talk me through how you go from this world of beer to then transition to cider.
So that was 2021, great year. All right. Then stress of other things started coming through. So we started seeing multiple breweries going out of business. Even after pandemic, you saw that recover, and then breweries going out of business. That started stressing me out. Prices going up, inflation, and it was hard for us to try not to pass it to consumer. But every time you pass it to consumer, you have a backlash. Sorry. And then we're like, okay, that stress started building up in my mind. At the same time, I saw the whole innovation, every beer every week, started dying out. People are like, okay, I try everything, pretty cool. Now let me go back to my everyday beer. And that was not an everyday beer. It's not a beer you could pound 4 or 5. That was the idea to share one can. Now everybody want to drink 4 or 5 of the same. Those beers were going down. I saw the trend. I talked around. Few people like, industry gonna suffer for a while. Packaged beer is gonna go down heavily. And I started stressing too much. I'll start seeing things not going well for the next 2 or 3 years. That was one thing that started keep me awake multiple days a week. And that stress was building up so strong that I needed change pace. That was unexpected. Cider was not in my radar at all. I was looking for change environment, change pace, and maybe even changing industry. I even talked to a few people to go back to the biological science. I have a few friends that work. At the time was Biofire. I'm like, hey, come work with me. Blah blah blah. I'm like, maybe let's see how things gonna go. So on my mind, I was on that. Try to change environment, try to change pace. That was on building up in my mind on the background. I was not active applying. I was not active like looking for jobs. That was just in my mind. And then that starts about February, March. In April, World Beer Cup. Went to Minneapolis. We got 3 medals. That was the top of my career. That it's the most important competition in the world for beer. We got 3 medals, all in sour beers, all in those crazy creations. We're so happy. I come back home like, okay, I think this can give me more time on this industry. And as soon as I get home, the next day I went to work. I felt even harder to go to work. Like that's, I thought this would give me a bump and actually put more pressure on me. And I was not feeling at all. And then at the same week, I have a friend in the industry who was covering for the former cider maker at Mount West. So he left about that time, and she was covering for him like as much she could. She went there, put cider in the tank. When she could, she went there, filter. But things was getting behind Mount West. And I called her one day, and I started like talking to her about how unhappy I was, how I need to change the pace. And she's like, hey, do you know Mount West is looking for a cider maker? I'm like, cider? What is cider? I haven't even drink cider. Yeah. Well, let me correct. I didn't know I haven't drink cider. Because in Brazil, we drink cider since we were kids. But in Brazil, it's marketed at poor people sparkling wine.
Oh, interesting.
But it's cider. Yeah. It says cider on the bottle, but nobody knows what cider is in Brazil. So what happened is people think it's just a cheap bottle of sparkling wine. Yeah. And I drink that since I was 10 because that's a very normal thing to drink on the Christmas in Brazil. So everybody that grew up in a poor family When you go about December, the shelves are full of that. And talk about a buck 50 bottle.
Wow.
So people buy that a lot because it's sparkly pop. It has a corking cage. It looks nice. So everybody has that because it's cheap. And you think you're drinking beer, or wine. You're actually drinking cider. So I didn't know. And then I was like, oh, I drink that cider in Brazil, but I never drink cider here. She's like, oh, they are looking for. How about you text them? I'm like, oh, it'd be a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
It'd be a nice change environment, different industry. But how much work is that? How the workload? So like, it's not like beer. You don't have to brew every day because as Maués is an urban cidery, so we buy juice. So juice come to us. So all the process of extracting sugar that takes you 8 hours a day in a brewery comes in a tote. I just have to pump that in the tank.
Yeah.
So that everyday hard labor on the brewery side that brewers has to make, that that does exist in cider. All the cellar side that's also heavy in beer is the same in cider. So at the end, process everyday work is the same load as a cider maker, as a cellar maker, a cellar man in the brewery. So those two jobs are very similar. The bigger difference will be selecting your juice. How are you going to approach your juice? Which varietals you're going to use? How are you going to ferment? Yeast strain. So that comes to the cider maker decisions. So that umbrella of work, it's different. It's more specialized. But every day, it's very similar to a cellar man.
Yeah.
So she explained that to me. I'm like, oh, I can do that. How many employees? Just you and the production. I'm like, well, I love people, but just me. I can make my own time.
Yeah. Sounds kind of nice.
So I text them. I'm like, hey, Jen, Jeff, you guys looking for a cider maker? I am looking for change my career. Can we talk? And they're like, well, I'm not expecting you here, but yeah, let's talk. So we started the interview, set all the conversation. And then I put my month notice because I don't want to leave at the time the guy's hanging dry. So like, hey, I'm going to leave. Sorry. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for all. I think it was a nice both ways. You guys give me opportunity, but also I delivered as much as I could.
Yeah.
So it was a nice friendly transition. I still talk to them all the time. So it was really nice friendly transition. And I started on Maués about 3 years in 3 days.
Wow.
And yeah, and then cider was a different world. And Sion, here there's a bar in town that's phenomenal, one of the best in the country, literally one of the best cider bars in the country. It's really rare to go to a city and find so many examples of ciders in one single bar.
Which is wild because, like, that's something that happens a lot in Utah, which is wild. Like, obviously, there's issues of why it isn't a very alcohol-friendly state. But then it's like we have so many great breweries and so many great distilleries and so many great cideries. It, like, doesn't make sense, but I'm glad that it does.
I think it's that because of the repression.
Yep.
When you want to do something, you cannot do a half-ass.
Yeah.
You have to do that full board with all your passion and make it the best, because then you can break down those barriers of the state imposed to you or all the weird laws. Also, the way people look at you when you said, oh, sometimes like, oh, I work in the alcohol industry. You have the looks.
Yeah.
For the good or for the bad, you have both.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's a nice experiment run in some place where people, it's a room with 1,000 people, all different occupations, and the person stand up like, I am an engineer. How many people look at that person is how much that occupation is interesting. The top two is brewmaster or alcohol industry and astronaut. So that it's the top two more attention people. So it's really cool, for the good, for the bad, right? So I went to Sion like, Rio, I need to learn everything about cider, and I have a month. Like, okay, come here, let's drink, let's talk. So it was a month of transition. that I was working Shades in the morning, leaving, go to Sion, drink 2 or 3 ciders, learn, go to MLS, helping them, help that lady, Lauren, I can say her name, help Lauren to filter or do something so I can learn as well. So it was a month of doing this every day until I become full-time there. And then I was like, okay, I actually like cider. It's an interesting beverage. So I started slowly learning more. There's a meeting like CBC Craft Brewers Conference. There's a cider con for cider, which is so nice. It's a smaller meeting than CBC, and you have the same type of people. So you're gonna see the beer nerds, the brewers or the cider makers. You're gonna see the media. You're gonna see the connoisseurs. You're gonna see all those kind of people. But the CiderCon has one more type of people: the farmers.
Yeah,
because the guy that take care of the farm and grow the apples, most of the times is the cider maker. So you have the farmers there. You don't see a barley grower at the CBC. You barely see hop growers, barley growers. You don't see that. You see the seller, people selling the barley, selling the hops. But the grower, the farmers, the guy that's everyday labor, you don't see them. At the CiderCon, you talk to them because it makes a difference. When he fertilized the crop, will determine if you're gonna be a sweeter or not on the cider. How level sweetness, because the nitrogen is gonna impact. So you have so much details that you never pay attention in beer. There's so many variables. In cider, apple, it's your main thing. So the farmer is extremely important. So that was blown my mind. I was like, okay, I want to learn more about this. I was so passionate about when I went there. I'm like, I want to more. I want to learn more, please. And that was my first CiderCon in 2023, Chicago. 24 was in Portland. And this year, I got a scholarship to go to the Chicago again. And not only to be there, but also be part of the American Cider Association and to do the test of sommelier, which is the sommelier.
Yeah. So I was talking with Chan about it, and she was talking about how you got this certification.
Yeah. So that was because the scholarship, I was able to go and fully supported the MLS team. Like, okay, go study, let's go, and tasting ciders all over the world, identifying off flavors that are different, not only different from beer, but also different from how you explain that and how you verbalize. These terms are different from wine, cider, and beer. So we have to understand those terms and now change your mind to those terms.
Mm-hmm.
So cider is different, is very different and unique, and it's more detailed than beer. I believe that when it comes to finding the taste, finding the tune taste. Everyday operation in cider is more laid back because at the end, we're going to filter, we're going to kind of filter, sterile filter. So if there's a small chance of small contamination in the tank, no big deal. Because we use killing yeast, the yeast will gonna grow too much, gonna kill the other yeast. So that will prevail. We don't have to worry about. And then when you filter, that is gonna go away. So we have more ways to go around than beer. But when it comes to final product, cider, it's more detail. You have more complexity than few styles of beer. So it also comes to, if you can taste difference between an apple that grows in Michigan versus the one that grows in Washington. Because there's one thing called terroir, and the soil will be different, the sunlight will be different, the fertilization will be different. Also, they're going to press in different press. If you use a press that will extract harsh, you're going to introduce CO2 or no CO2, that is already completely different of the juice. Now, it's selection, time, temperature. How are you going to back sweet, not back sweet? You're going to be dry, still, sparkling. Are you going to be in a 750 ml bottle? You're going to be in a can. So much difference for one simple apple.
Yeah.
And that was what fascinates me. Not even start talking about pairing.
Yeah.
Pairing cider with food, it's another world. And sometimes you're like, okay, I go to a dinner. Oh, we're gonna pair this pork chop with this beer. I'm like, I wish it was cider. Yeah. So it's for me, it's getting more passion on. It's not more. It's different.
Yeah.
It's a different.
I mean, especially when you had going from this situation where you're like, oh, I learned a lot, I did a lot, but like something's off. I need change. I need to go somewhere else, and then have this opportunity again come to you and be like, oh, wait, this is refreshing. This is a new thing to tackle. There are these new nuances, and really find this like harmony in it.
Let's learn. And that was my passion is always learning. As a scientist, like I want to learn, I want to tweak, I want to make it better. I want to understand the process. And now that I understand the process, I know how it works. How can I make it better or different? So Mount was opposite for Shades. So Shades was at the time very normal classic beers, and I bring all this crazy. Mount, if you go there, before me, it was already some different type of ciders. And now I'm trying to make more classic stuff.
Yeah, interesting.
So it's a little different because it's how the company it's on the track. But I never left my crazy side. Of course, if you go there right now, there's a Bloody Mary cider on draft.
Yeah.
Why not? It's cider is a Bloody Mary, and it's alcoholic Bloody Mary already on draft. So if you want to add another shot of vodka, for example, it will be the most alcoholic Bloody Mary in Utah.
Yeah.
Why not? Because it's my creativity let me do it. So let's do it. At the same time, I want to do the classics. I want to do the slow fermentation, single varietal. If I can get late harvest, low fertilizer apples, I want that juice. I wanted that juice to ferment very slow, do 6 months fermentation. Then a nice non-filtered bottle, 750 ml cork and cage, classic, beautiful. At the same time, I want to throw we make a Negroni, para-aged gin cider with vermouth and bitters. So why not?
Yeah,
making all kind of things. But cider has this flexibility, and for me, very similar to the sour beer. That it pairs well with fruits, it pairs well with spices. It can go crazy, it can go classic. So it's so complex, and why not? Let's play around.
Yeah, might as well have fun with it.
Yeah.
No, it's so fun to hear like the whole journey of it all, of how everything just kind of worked out, and now you find this next adventure that's again like plays to that scientific nature of you being like, just give me a new process. I want to learn something. I want to refine it. I want to pull on these levers and really just grow. And especially to the point where you're like, yeah, I'll go get my accreditation to learn even more. And then, but there's also still, you're like, but I'm going to do a Bloody Mary cider. I'm going to do that. Like, where you still going to have fun and play with it.
The Pomelier was a nice journey. It was, we were all studying together, a few people, to try to get a test. So it's a studying process. So I have to learn all the theory. So learn not only how to make a cider, but on the process is growing. So you have a lot of orchard knowledge that has to be evolved. You have to have pairing. A lot of pairing, so how to pair ciders with food, with chocolate, with desserts, stuff like that. And then also the tasting. And that taste was the fun part because it's a 750 ml bottle. I'm going to open that and drink all by myself. I will get to the end of the third bottle. I'm not going to be able to finish my study of the day.
Yes.
So if you do it in a group of 10, 7, 5 people, we can go through 7, 10 ciders on that day and study nicely. So we partner with Matt Oster. His last name I cannot pronounce, but Matt is the first Pomelier in Utah.
Okay.
It's partnered with Sion.
Okay.
Me, him, Rio, Erica, and then a few people among us. We all sit down and start studying for the test, and that was the best part because we all sit together against Matt's notes because he's the Pomelier.
Yeah.
So we have to get close to what he's writing. So it was the fine tuning like weeks before the test. And we all went to Chicago, did the test, and everybody that studied together, the tasting, we all passed.
That's amazing.
That was super cool. But that was phenomenal. So everybody studying together, we got the certification together. It was super cool.
No, that's awesome. You guys could do it as a team as well. I mean, which makes it more fun because, again, if you're drinking alone, then it's not I mean, you can't do as much, but then it's also not as fun to like compare and share and talk. And I mean, alcohol brings people together. I mean, it's a social beverage. And so if it's not bring people together, it's got to be, I can't imagine it'd be the same experience if it wasn't done that well or done that way.
I agree. It'll be solitary. It'll be probably alcoholic.
Not that what we want.
For people that don't know about cider, you should be aware of styles. So cider's not just strong boiling or orchard sweet stuff.
Nice.
There's probably more than 25 styles of cider. Fruited, botanical, high tannin, high acid, low tannin, low acid, sweet, sparkling, flat. It can be funk, it can be clean, it can be a very nice expression of the single apple. Pears, so many styles of pears, all make with pears, culinary pears, tannic pears, single tree pears, and then other we call fortified ones. So ice ciders, pomo. Pomo is a beverage that I never heard about that, and most of the people have no idea what pomo is. Pomo is equivalent of port wine for cider.
Okay.
So it's a fortified cider using apple brandy. So apple brandy and starting fermenting cider. So basically apple juice. But then it's not just a mix. You have to age that months or years in barrels. So that's a beverage that is so good. It's growing. Finally, people started getting hands on. And it's so good that people should start drinking more pomos.
Yeah.
And again, it's an industry that's growing. Luckily, I think it's the only alcoholic category that's still growing in the U.S. Everything else is kind of static or going down.
Yeah.
It's a new generation. Gen Z is coming. Low alcohol consumption. More cannabis product being consumed. We got it. It's a trend. But it's always like this. You're always going to have one or two generations that will be low. And then a few years later, they will find out that, hey, I miss all those years not drink this product. So let's start drinking those products again. It's just a phase. I know that. But cider is there. It's here to stay. It's a gluten-free, naturally gluten-free product. It's usually the dry ones that we made in Mountain West. It's low calorie. This is zero sugar. So yeah, it's a really good beverage. More people should try it.
And I love going to Mountain West. I mean, sitting at the garden, there's usually always live music or something going on, especially in the summer. I mean, perfect night. I mean, sometimes I'll Uber Eats food in. Sometimes I'll have a food truck. Sometimes I'll bring a board game or something.
And we're going to start having food
That's right.
Next week.
Even more feasting.
Yeah, we're going to have sandwich and other like small bites that's being crafted by chefs right now. So it's getting even better. The garden is phenomenal. I love the vibe, that outdoor space, concerts that you said all the time. Yarn, it's being very successful. So people go there to tell stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. You just go there to hear stories like this for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and you can know a lot of people because they bring touchy, very funny stories. So you can meet so many people. So all these events are being held over there, bringing life to that part of the city that's a little forgotten.
Yeah.
Put this way, Marmalade District is growing, but it's still a lot to be discovered. And Moet's there. It's been there for 10 years. It's going to be our anniversary this year of 10 years. So there's a lot of special things that we're bringing in. So yeah.
Yeah, come swing by, have a Ruby, have a Bloody Mary cider, have whatever tickles your fancy. There's always going to be some classics that we talked about, some fun things we talked about, and who knows what else is to come.
Just one thing I want to bring that we talk about small city. Mm-hmm. I love the one thing that Pete from City Weekly was telling the story that he was in Greece a year ago, and he was with his family, and he was in the elevator, and he's talking to his brother, I think, and he heard someone on the back of the elevator say, "Oh, finally English! I can talk to someone in English. Where are you guys from?" And he's like, "Oh, from Salt Lake City." And this guy like, "Oh, I'm from Portland, but I know one person from Salt Lake City. Buffalo?" Like, no way! I'm in Greece, in the middle of nowhere, And this guy that I meet, the only English I've been listening for the past 3 weeks, is a guy from Portland that know you.
The one person he knows in Utah happens to be the person I know.
In Mall Lake City.
Even in Greece, it happens everywhere. That's amazing. Well, Marcio, I want to end with the 2 questions I always ask everybody at the end of each episode. Number 1, if you could have someone on the Small Lake City podcast and hear more about their story and what they're up to, who would you want to hear from?
One person can bring fuel.
You can name a couple, of course.
I would like to see the guys that start brewing industry here. So there's few people that like Dale from Beehive, Tampling.
Yeah,
for sure. It's a good name. A few people in the industry that brought things alive to this area. But also there's a guy. It's gonna be hard probably, but we have a Nobel Prize.
Oh yeah,
in Salt Lake.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal.
I gotta hurry on that one.
Yes, you have to hurry that for sure. I have with him a few times. It's really great story of how he comes to Salt Lake and how he developed a whole genetic field that changed the world, and how he got a Nobel Prize working in Utah in Salt Lake. He lives here. He lives in the avenues. He loves the city. He's already on this almost the 90s. So yeah, hurry up.
Yeah. Time's not in my favor nor his, but we'll have to figure it out.
Yeah. Him would be really cool to bring in.
Totally. And then lastly, if people want to find out more information about Mountain West or see what ciders are coming up, what's the best place to find information?
We have our social media, so Mountain West Cider or Mountain West Hard Cider. So Mountain West Cider for our Instagram, Facebook, and website. Our website just totally new, launched today.
Oh, cool.
So updated, ready to go, events and everything. So social media is the best place, or stop by 425 North, 400 West in the Marmalade District, where their gardens open. We have the new roof, new room in the front. Even for this heat, if the garden is still hot, don't worry. We have the sunroof. It's in the top, in the front. Right now it's at 69 degrees. It's really good.
Yeah. Cold air conditioned room, mini fridge, room cider.
Exactly. But stop by or our website, and yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks for having me.
No, thank you, Marcio. It's been fun to hear your story and hear more about how you got there, and I mean the whole journey across the way. But yeah, I guess I will be there soon because there's an event we're doing with Bookish on, I think it's like August 19th. I'll have to look. Anyway, if you're listening to this, check Instagram. I'll tell you there. But no, I mean, this has been great. Thank you so much. Keep making classic ciders, keep making fun ciders, and who knows what alcoholic beverage you'll end up in next. Go make some whiskey, some wines, and something.
Who knows? Oh, we're making wine, actually. That's another thing. Well, let's just introduce some wine, the whole wine line last year. So look for the cans, Summit wine. It's Mountain West.
Okay.
Sparkling rosé, sparkling brut, and the whole bottles of the Mountain West cellar. Yeah, we have a full line of wine now.
So there we go. You're already doing.
We're already doing wine. So now what? Sake next? Who knows?
Hey, I don't think there's anyone doing that. Anyway.
Oh yeah, there is. There's one Sakesuki.
Oh yeah, you're right.
She's they're making really good sake.
Utah never ceases to amaze me. There's always something I don't know about happening. Yeah. No, thanks, Marcio. That was so good.